In this video, I'm gonna tell you how to be a miserable musician. So if you are on self-destruct mode, you're in luck because this is for you. I'm Matt and this is the Recorder Studio. And how to be a miserable musician? I'm gonna give you best tips on how to achieve this goal. So if you wanna be a miserable musician, number one, don't practice. Okay, this is very basic. This is like the basic of things, very basic and self-explanatory. Because if you practice, um, you will progress on your music, especially if you practice correctly. um, if you practice correctly and you mark all the difficult parts on the piece, and then you practice that, you will have progress. And you don't want to do that. You don't want progress. What you want is to what you have to do is to play the music from the beginning up to the end without correcting your mistakes. And if you practice, just practice what you want. Don't practice the basic fundamentals of things. Okay? That's the number one tip. Don't practice. Okay? Number two. Number two tip. Don't believe in hard work. Okay? Believe in destiny. Okay? Think about the prodigies. Misha Elman was a little boy and he played with the orchestras, world-class orchestras, because they are prodigies. Believe in destiny. This meaning destiny is you are destined. If you are destined to become famous musician or to become a good teacher, um, this is destiny. Because if you believe in hard work, don't do that. If you believe in hard work will carry you through. And if hard work will carry you through, you will be good on your music. So you don't want that. You have to have a little to no respect about the music, because you are aiming to be a miserable musician. So don't believe in hard work. Number three, don't use the internet to upgrade your skills. If you use your internet, because on the internet you have a lot of videos there to upgrade, for your technique to flourish, to study. There are a lot of study materials there to upgrade your skills. For example, bowing, technique wise, blowing the instrument, or inspirations. On the internet you have interviews there of a great musician that will inspire you to make better quality music. So you don't use the internet to upgrade your skills, because you want to be dumb and you want to be ignorant, because you're aiming to be a miserable musician. So don't use the internet if you want to be a miserable musician. If you use the internet, watch those selfish contents, the people who are going to the beach, doing things that they like, and buying shoes. Yun. Watch those kinds of contents on the internet, but don't use the internet as a tool for studying and upgrading your skills. Okay, so moving on to number 4. Think that you are already the best musician in the world. So if you think that you are already the best musician in the world, you will have confidence on yourself, and this will hinder you to study more and stop listening. This will hinder you to study more, and this will help you to disregard what your teacher are telling you. And this will help you not to learn from musicians, your colleagues. Okay, and you will I and if you will think about this, For example, you're thinking that you are the best musician, you're already the best musician in the world. This will help you to be stagnant and to be arrogant. Because if you think that you are the best, you will not learn already. Okay, it will help you to be arrogant. And music is very humbling. It teaches us to be humble. So you don't want to be humble. Okay, so you want to be arrogant and not good on your music, not good and arrogant. So think that you are already the best musician. This is very good tip. So number 5. This is a very complex tip. If you don't have a job on your career of music, because of the hard times today, it's pandemic. You cannot teach person to person. You have to teach. You have to have gadgets. You have to have your computer. You have to have good environment so that you can teach. So what you will do is you have to find another job, because you want to live, you want to have food, you want to pay the bills. So if you don't have a job as a musician, consider quitting. You quit. You consider that. Because I understand you're a musician and you have a job. But if you think about your instrument, just think about it while you're doing your job. This will inspire you to practice. This will inspire you to have your passion is always in your heart. Huh? If you're thinking about your instrument, you will have the discipline to practice even 20 minutes a day. And you don't want discipline because you want to be miserable musician. You don't want that. So if you have a job, don't consider quitting on your music. Huh? So that when you grow old, you will not, your instrument doesn't know you, and you don't know the instrument also when you grow old, because one day you will stop your job, and one day you will have a lot of time for your music, and you want to be distant as possible with your instrument. So you don't think about your instrument, because this will only inspire you to practice. Okay, don't think about your instrument if you have a job and you don't want discipline. Huh? This is very important thing to think about. This is very important thing. Don't think about your instrument. Okay? So you want to be as miserable as possible on your music. And if you think about your instrument, this is gonna inspire you to have a little bit of time on your instrument, even if you're working on the office or on doing your business. And one tip, if you think about your instrument and suddenly you became rich, your goal is to be as far apart with your instrument. Your instrument doesn't know you, and you don't know your instrument. So don't think about your instrument. Okay? So consider quitting. If you don't have a if you have a job, consider quitting your music, so that you will be envious of others who have practiced even a little bit daily, and they are not rusting away with their instrument. So you want to be envious, and if you're envious about other people, you will compare yourself to them, and then you will be more miserable as a musician. Okay? So this is the best tip. Save the best for last. Number 6. Do not learn the notes. Okay? Do not learn the notes. So after 10 years, if you don't know the notes, after 10 years, you're still the same. Okay? After 10 years of doing music, you are still the same. And if you learn the notes, you will discover the complex beauty of music, especially classical music. You will have an idea about Johann Sebastian Bach's mathematical genius, and you will have an idea about his music, how it directly affects your feelings, and it's very beautifully made. Or you will have an idea about the genius of Mozart, how he plays the melody, deconstructs the melody, and then he go back to that melody again. It's very beautiful, especially if you hear the second movement of Mozart clarinet concerto. It's like music for the head. It's like heavenly music. So you don't want to learn the notes. Don't learn the notes because you will discover the beauty, the complex beauty of music. Okay? This is very important. Because if you learn the notes, for example, you learn the notes, you start from easy pieces, 2 notes, 3 notes, you will have progress. Okay, from starter you will be intermediate, from intermediate you will be very advanced. If from advanced is from advanced you will have quality on your music, and you don't want that. You don't want progress. You just need to be mediocre, and you don't have knowledge of the music because you want to be miserable in your music. Okay, so do not learn the notes. Okay, if you learn the notes, this will not be very good for you if you want to be a miserable musician. If you learn the notes using internet, using people, this will stop you on your goal to being a miserable musician. This is very important. So I hope you learned something. Like and subscribe to my channel if this makes sense. And I'm Matt, and this is the Recorder Studio.